All right, let's play a game. I'm Joshua James Macario. I'm a cybersecurity incident responder, and I'm going to walk with you through a simulated incident response. I'm going to explain along the way my reasoning, and hopefully we can resolve the incident without any consequences. Let's get started. Okay, there we go. So I have a simulator right here. We're gonna go ahead and start again with random settings. And yes, it's ChatGPT. I have customized a GPT to be able to do that. Okay, so what do we have? We have a hybrid environment on-prem and cloud, which means we have both a server on the premises and we have cloud servers. It's a mid-size, so 1,200 employees organization. We have an EDR, which is the endpoint detection and response. We have the SIEM, which is our logging server. We don't have MFA, multi-factor authentication. And we don't have a 24/7 incident response team. We do have a on-call, and also pressure from executives is pretty high. We're going to do an endpoint compromise scenario with possible lateral movements. Okay, so far so good. So let's do this. So from there, what do we have? We have first an initial detection. 742 help desk reports 3 users complaining of slow laptops and unexpected reboots. Okay, that's not good. 748 EDR flags a suspicious PowerShell activity on one of the finance users' workstation. That's unexpected. 750, the SIEM shows that the same host making outbound connection to unfamiliar IPs over TCP 443, so HTTPS. No, not previously seen on your environment. Actually, TCP could be just plain old TCP. It doesn't have to be HTTPS. No alerts seen from other servers or cloud logs. Users are actively working. Finance leadership is on a budget review meeting this morning. Okay. What we don't know, whether it's a malware, hands-on keyboard, or a false positive. I'm pretty sure it's not a false positive. If credentials have been compromised or if other endpoints are affected. What do? I can either isolate the host to avoid spread. I can building a live response to the endpoint to be able to review it without isolating. I would query the SIEM for PowerShell or outbound traffic across the enterprise and notify finance leadership that an investigation is starting and that user impact may occur. So we don't have any containment right now. We do have all the evidence that we need. We just need to collect it. We have minimal known business impact, but we don't know anything about the attacker, and we don't know much in general. We have confidence level like 2. So what do we do? That's a good question. This one's not the easiest because we have a strong dilemma of, do we disrupt the finance leadership budget meeting? Actually, we don't know that it is the finance user is in the meeting. We know that the finance leadership is on there. It's a budget reviewed meeting, so it could be less important than it could be still important, but not as important meeting. And it could be, let's see. So we know I'm pretty certain that we have a hands-on keyboard activity through PowerShell and maybe a reverse shell using TCP 443. I'm pretty certain that if there was lateral movement, it would proxy through that host rather than, I mean, it could connect to the IP directly, but that would be pretty loud. So I would personally proxy that connection through the host in question. And I'm pretty sure that's what Metasploit would do too. So let's see. That's a good one. So we do need to review the logs for the exact PowerShell command to understand what what is happening. We need to confirm whether the user is in the leadership meeting or not. What else? We could hold off on isolating the host depending on the result of that question. It's been a long day. So from there, if the user is not part of the meeting, definitely contain. Otherwise, decide. Otherwise, leave it alone for now. Also, look at the logs to determine if the IP was seen anywhere else. Use live response to be able to review the browsing history of the user and correlate that to any network logs if we have them. What else? I think that's really pretty good. Let's see. So, measured investigation, okay. PowerShell commands, EDR telemetry, executed, obfuscated but decoded. Okay. Decodes to download a script from some unfamiliar IP, executes in memory only, establishes a beacon every 90 seconds. This is not consistent with normal admin tooling. Makes sense. User is a finance analyst, not part of the executive budget meeting. Laptop is currently unlocked but idle, like they stepped away. Enterprise log sweep. The suspicious IP appears on 2 additional endpoints. Same PowerShell pattern within the last 30 minutes. No server or domain control the traffic yet. Live response browser network correlation. We see yesterday a Microsoft spoofed login page that was called domain. Shortly after, visit outbound HTTPS request to the same IP. Likely credential harvesting and payload delivery. Okay. So right now, I'd say, so we contain the host that has we contain all 3 hosts that show the IP and PowerShell command. We rotate, we change the password for the user who entered their credentials in the phishing page. What else? We block the IP at the perimeter, so on the firewalls. What else? Actually, if we block the IP, do we need to contain the hosts? Not really. Not yet, at least. We investigate all 3 hosts for the history of command lines run. We change the password for the user, we block the IP at the perimeter. That's good. So all three endpoints show identical one-liners, executed on the user content, not system. First execution within 5 minutes of each phishing visit. One host shoulder follows up command, let view, and I'll test domain trust, early reconnaissance. Okay, reset password for phished user. Once AD password reset succeeds, successful VPN authentication from a new geography 12 minutes before the reset. So that's been used. MFA not enforced, therefore account exposure window existed. Blocked IP at the perimeter, that's good. All three endpoints show beaconing. EDR now shows repeated failed connection attempts. On host, the PowerShell spawns a scheduled task immediately after block. Likely persistence fallback reacting to C2 loss. Okay. Okay, yeah, so that was maybe not the best path forward for once. Okay, let's see. Oops. I think I need to zoom in some more so you can see better. There we go. That's even better now. So we can isolate, disable the AD account, acquire full memory, disk image, hunt for persistent mechanisms, or something else. Sorry. So yeah, we're gonna need to capture memory, then isolate memory on the active host, then and isolate hop 3. Isolate, if I type it right, it's better. Yeah, record. Yeah, record. Okay. What else? We need to disable the user account and reset any sessions. From that VPN connection, we need to confirm any activity seen by that VPN IP. Seen from that VPN IP. Once contained, we copy and eradicate the persistence mechanisms. Again, if I can type it right, it's better. On all three hosts, assuming they are all the same software. Okay, memory capture, that's good. Injected root space inside Explorer. Memory DLL consistent with community post-exploitation framework. Clear text credentials used for the logged in user and a previously logged in IT support account cached. C2 configuration shows primary IP already blocked, secondary domain-based fallback not yet used. All three endpoints successfully isolated, no further outbound traffic observed, scheduled task attempts fail post-isolation. Okay, that's good. Then finance user account disabled, password reset, or VPN and SaaS sessions forcibly terminated. IT support found found. Okay, perfect. We have disabled the IT support account that was found. VPN IP investigation. We see that they accessed SharePoint, Wiki, Azure AD, read-only via portal. No admin role usage, but significant reconnaissance. Activity stopped once sessions were terminated. Process eradication. All 3 hosts have identical scheduled tasks. Same registry run backup. You remove the artifacts after copying the binaries and tags XML for evidence. No additional persistence found. What this means now? We have a credential harvesting phishing campaign with rapid hands-on exploitation. The attacker demonstrated awareness of detection and targeting privileged credentials opportunistically. You likely stopped them before lateral movement to servers, but cached credentials create uncertainty. Secondary C2 domains may exist elsewhere. Containment status strong. Evidence integrity preserved. Business impact moderate. Attacker progress stalled pre-lateral movement. Decision point 4. Enterprise-wide hunt. Notify executive leadership. Not yet. Force password resets. Yes. Restore 3 endpoints. Reimage or rollback. Let's see. What else? So we've already looked at the logs for the oh wait, not for the secondary. Okay. One look for source. No, it was a typo squared domain for source of the typo squatted domain. Is it an email, an ad, or anything, or a genuine mistake? If email, pull any emails from the same sender and analyze domain, then identify any other user who received an email from that domain and verify their activity for any visit to the phishing page. If they did visit it, reset their password. To roll back the hosts, the 3 compromised hosts, ensuring we have a full memory snapshot for further analysis. Then let the users get back to work. What else? 3, look for the secondary domain across the enterprise EDR just in case. Okay, so what else? There was an initial lure in a phishing email. Document shared with you, finance review. The sender domain is 1 character off from Microsoft. 27 users received it. Passed the SPF, but failed the mark, but did not reject. Okay. Of the 27 recipients, 6 users clicked the link, 3 entered credentials, the one we know. 3 clicked but did not authenticate. For the 3 who authenticated, password reset, sessions revoked. That's good. For the 3 who only clicked, no PowerShell execution, no outbound CD traffic. And we monitor their accounts just to be sure. Endpoint recovery. All 3 compromised hosts, we have their memory snapshot. That's good. We have the disk artifacts preserved, also good, and we have rolled back their hosts. Users back to work within 3 hours, and no reinfection observed. Secondary C2 domain hunts, no successful connection, 1 blocked DNS from HR before isolation. Confirms fallback mechanism existed, attacker did not regain control after IP block and isolation. What we identified: initial vector, full affected population, exact blast radius, operationally contained, technically understood, remaining is residual exposure and policy weakness. We have fully contained, preserved integrity, business impact moderate, attacker stopped. Okay, decision points. Briefing, user awareness, hardening, formal incident declaration, we don't need that. Other. To confirm, why did that HR host send a DNS request to the secondary C2? Was it part of the original 3 infected hosts? Provide user awareness campaign to all targeted users. Brief executives of the contained of the remediated compromise, recommending the enforcement of DMARC authentication. So I just received a message on the side. I wanted to make sure it's okay. There you go. So we've got that. Good cache. Okay, so HR host was one of the 3 affected hosts. That's good. So the malware had fallback logic, time reconstruction, IP blocked, beacon failure accumulated, malware attempted 1 DNS resolution for the second domain. The request was blocked. Shortly after, the endpoint was isolated. No HTTPS traffic ever followed that DNS request. This was an automated resilience mechanism, not a sign of new infection. New block isolation sequence worked exactly as intended. You roll out targeted awareness action to the 27 users. 6 users who clicked, direct 1-1 follow-up from security. That's a bit harsh, but sure. Reinforcement that reported and quickly helped contain the incident. No panic, increased reporting confidence to additional unrated phishing emails reported the same day. That's good. Your brief executives with a remediated compromise narrative, not a crisis one. Initial access via phishing email, 3 endpoints affected, no server or cloud admin compromise. Attacker stopped before the lateral movement. Evidence preserved, no exfiltration observed. Recommendations accepted. Well, yeah, the MFA rollout is pretty good too. Reduce PowerShell abuse via constrained language mode and logging. That's good. Exact response pressure reduced. Budget approval requested for identity hardening. I like that one. Okay. So what did we think? Containment first mindset, 9 out of 10. Evidence preservation, 10 out of 10. Stakeholder communication, 9 out of 10. Decision trade-off, 9 out of 10. Operational realism, 8.5 out of 10. Only minor gap earlier, VPN GR tuning could have helped. Yeah. Textbook phishing to endpoint. We stopped the rule intrusion before it became a breach. Hardware variant or cloud-focused replay. Or bad decision rewind, so to see the alternate outcomes. Now we're pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording. I think this was a good session, and I'm gonna use that later.